Renaming a failed project or technology 2.0 seems to be all the craze right now, but only serves as one purpose. It's designed to keep its holders hooked on hopium that the next attempt will be the one that eradicates all the design flaws inherited from the move fast mentality. In reality, it's merely a form of rebrand for the next bull run, to keep you engaged or invested long enough for the same cycle of disappointment to repeat. But how long will stunts like this actually mislead the masses? With Cardano, there's no need for a 2.0, because version 1 was carefully thought out, extensively researched and expertly implemented over a period of 7 years and counting. Cardano's competitors seem to be fixated on winning where crypto isn't needed, and in direct contrast, Cardano has maintained its focus on what makes crypto valuable, possessing the core values that anyone pro-blockchain would claim to advocate for. In fact, Cardano is Bitcoin 2.0, and it pains the Maxi so much they can't reach acceptance and embrace it, so instead they vehemently oppose it. Broken, outdated or limited tech coupled with the severe market downside presents the perfect conditions for deep thinking, reflection and education. And for those willing to open their eyes, they will see that nothing offers greater stability, promise and opportunity than Cardano right now. Welcome back for today's installment of Cardano Insights, delivering a fast-paced bite-sized roundup of the all-important Cardano news and ecosystem content from the past 72 hours. Join me as I explore exactly what's been happening at the very pulse of Cardano. So let's get straight into it. First up, and on Saturday we got some really pleasing news coming out of IOHK with regards to the Vasil hard fork. As expected, it would seem that the team have been working around the clock to ensure that whilst we did experience a postponement to the original hard fork date, it looks as though that we're edging ever closer to that 4-week countdown to mainnet. Announced here in this thread, today we're pleased to report that the IOG team has successfully tagged and released Cardano node 1.35.0, which we can confirm will be the final candidate for the mainnet Vasil release. They also remind us that we're code complete on all the core Cardano software, and testing on the new Plutus version 2 code, which includes new SIPs which significantly improve smart contract performance, has also been successful and delivered very positive results in terms of performance and improved cost. So now, once at least 75% of the SPOs have upgraded to this new version of the node on testnet, the 4-week countdown will begin. So yesterday, that was on Sunday, I believe we're around 45% already updated, so I'd imagine we'll pass the 75% needed very soon. Things are certainly looking positive, and I think there's a real determination from IOHK, the community of dApp developers and SPOs, to ensure the July hard fork is delivered on time. I'm looking forward to further updates this week, and I'll be sure to bring you them as and when they arrive. Next up, and recently we covered DefiYield and their updated rewards dashboard. Well, on Friday we got another update, and this time relating specifically to the NFTs awarded, depending on participation level in the ISPO. So if you took part in the ISPO and are eligible, minting for the NFTs will start tomorrow, that's June 28th, and will require you to use the wallet you staked to the ISPO from. There is no fee for the mint other than the normal transaction fees, and the mint will be handled through Genius X partner CardaHub. I've linked the article in the description below which outlines how to mint and the links for each NFT type. Looking at the NFT designs for a moment, they seem to have gone for a kind of key card that's real shiny and rotating, with the NFT emblem, so diamond hands, ape, hodler, degen, FOMO or shark, almost engraved into the card next to the DefiYield logo. They refer to them as magnetic key cards. I like the idea of a key card, and it makes you wonder of all the possible doors that it may unlock in the future. They look pretty neat, and just for clarity, I took part in the ISPO, so maybe I'll feature the mint on the next installment and we can check out the NFTs together in real time. Now, more important than the NFT designs themselves for me is the utility behind them. Firstly, these NFTs will be your key to unlock the Djed tokens accumulated from the ISPO. In addition, as stated here by DefiYield, they have a long-term vision for all of their products, therefore already have several use cases planned for these NFTs, and they'll be announced as soon as they move forward with development of the protocol, partnerships and the Genius ecosystem in general. Obviously, once the NFTs have been minted and the rewards claimed, the NFTs can be sold on the secondary market, but I for one will be keeping mine long term and look forward to realising the utility after DEX launch and beyond. If you missed out on the ISPO or didn't qualify for any NFTs, you can actually purchase a late fan NFT for 50 ADA, which is also available to mint tomorrow. So other than the secondary market, there's still an opportunity to get the utility NFT in advance of future updates. Once again, everything is laid out in the article linked in the description below. Next, into something really unique and another example of just how the Cardano community demonstrates a selfless attitude towards developing functional tools or applications for the Cardano ecosystem to enjoy with no monetary incentive. Peter Oravec developed this Explorer tool at eutxo.org, which gives an amazing visual representation of block production, breaking each block and its transactions down in a really aesthetically pleasing way. What I really like about this is how it makes something as technical as block production more understood or accessible for a layman like myself to digest. If you go to eutxo.org, the main homepage cycles through blocks being produced in real time, displaying the breakdown of what's in the block, for example ADA, other native assets or NFTs, the total fees and the block validators information, with a link to the SBO site. You can however use the search tool and search any transaction or block on the Cardano blockchain, and it will give you all the stats along with this cool visualization of the block being produced. For me personally, I really like this. I find the site itself really clean, and going by recent conversations I've seen between Peter and the community, there are also many new iterations planned for the tool moving forward. Apart from it being a really handy explorer, I have to agree with the community feedback that this would also double up as a great screensaver if you like geeking out on Cardano in the EUTXO model. Go check it out and maybe even search a recent transaction that you've performed personally to get that visual representation. The site's linked in the description below. Now, a few weeks back we covered DefiYield, the asset management dashboard where you can track your DeFi moves and portfolio. They had recently announced the integration with the Cardano blockchain. Well, this weekend they announced the integration of Muesliswap, now available on their platform. So if you're currently using Muesliswap and its products, you can now connect your wallet at DefiYield and start tracking your ADA, pools, stakes, farms and more all within the DefiYield app. It's great to see another addition in the Cardano DeFi space on what is, if you're a DeFi degen, a great tool to keep track of all your moves and portfolio. Next up, and we got this update from Coty regarding Djed, providing some information on the testnet version and mainnet launch of the stablecoin. First off, I like how they immediately refer to Djed as Cardano's over-collateralized stablecoin. Maybe this serves as a reminder not to label it in the same group as Terra UST, as we know it's significantly different. In this update, they confirmed that since the testnet was launched 2 weeks ago, over 500,000 test Djed has been minted on the platform. In addition, 6.6 million test Shen reserve coins were minted, giving a reserve ratio of 653%. At the moment, there is about 6.5 million test ADA in the test pool, so a great level of participation. As mentioned on numerous occasions by Coty's CTO, they are convinced of a mass demand for Djed, and this gives us an insight into this. After the testnet was launched, if you remember, a level 2 audit certification of the on-chain code was submitted to guarantee the absence of any security vulnerabilities and ensure that the specification and code are of good quality in terms of understanding and maintainability. Corrective measures, according to the audit remarks, have been already applied, and a new version of the code is now being submitted for a final audit. There has also been a safety analysis performed internally to ensure that they've captured all the potential vulnerabilities that could lead to harm in the protocol. In parallel with the audit, Coty are also waiting for the Cardano's Vasil hard fault to take place. The Vasil hard fault will allow for scalability that is required to safely run Djed on mainnet. Once the Vasil hard fault is complete, along with the final audit results, Coty will start to deploy Djed to mainnet. This feels like it's real close now, and I'll be sure to provide continued updates all the way to mainnet launch and beyond. I've linked the full article from Coty in the description below. Now, whilst I'm no developer myself, one narrative that always gets thrown around, often by the naysayers, is that Haskell is far too difficult to attract developers, therefore long-term adoption will be stunted by nobody actually wanting to build on Cardano. First off, we know this to be untrue, as we've seen a tremendous amount of building on the blockchain already, which is only going to increase post-Vasil. Not to mention the ease of building or developing Solidity-based dApps through EVM sidechains. With IOG's alpha release already deployed on testnet, attracting developers is not going to be an issue. Remember, having an interoperable blockchain is one of the core pillars of Cardano's infrastructure, but there is a reason why Haskell was chosen. This ensures smart contracts can be implemented in a precise, formally verified language, delivering a high level of assurance and certainty. No wonder it's the language preferred by aerospace and defense organizations, where mistakes or failures would be critical or life-threatening. Why would we not hold ourselves to the same standards for what aims to be a global financial operating system, where we've seen too often flaws in a protocol design often lead to severe consequences? I think competitors like to use the narrative to deter anyone from pursuing Haskell, as they may be threatened by the impact that an army of Haskell developers may have on the blockchain world. Over the weekend I came across an insightful tweet that gives us a view from an experienced JavaScript developer on Haskell, writing, "As a senior JavaScript developer, I have to say that while I thought Haskell reflexively feels like a barrier to entry for developers into Cardano, the more Haskell you learn, the more you feel like, how did I ever write code any other way?" I thought this was really interesting and certainly refreshing to hear, considering the amount of criticism levied at Cardano for its choice of programming language. So I thought I'd end this episode by summarising some of the core fundamentals of Cardano that are in play today, not considering future advancements or rollout of the technology, and you can use them as a gauge when comparing against its nearest competitors. So let's briefly list through. By far the best-in-class, most secure staking system that incentivises decentralisation, critical systems-based coding language, peer-reviewed technology that's regulation-ready, 100% uptime since its inception, deterministic fees, proven Eutxo model, partnerships with nation-states, native assets, on-chain governance, verifiable decentralised digital identifiers, and ultimately with the most inclusive and determined community behind the long-term vision. This is the foundation of mass adoption. Cardano is solving some of the world's greatest problems, and it's playing out right in front of us. If you take some time to digest everything, it's pretty easy to see where this is all heading. So that's it for another instalment of Cardano Insights. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you found value in the content, and if you did, please be sure to comment, like, share and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back soon with your daily roundup, and until then, thanks for watching, have a great day, and as always, keep it Cardano.